Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Benny Intruder, and welcome to Headspun. Now this one's pretty unique, but first, we're going to be needing ourselves a quick history lesson. So, way back in the 1980s and thereabouts, some video games chose to handle their story through full motion video, or FMV, which basically just meant literally hiring actors, recording them acting out the plot, and then just playing it in the game at the right moment, perhaps most famously in Night Trap, say. Now, as video game technology came along, for the most part, this style of storytelling fell out of fashion. With one exception as far as I can tell, which is Wales Interactive, the publisher behind this game, who also previously made The Bunker, which also took advantage of full motion video, which I covered on the channel, what would that have been, maybe 18 months, 2 years ago, thereabouts. So this publisher seems very keen on keeping full motion video alive, which is exactly what Headspun is, but there's more weirdness here than that too, because in Headspun you're also playing as two people living inside your own brain, a bit like the film Inside Out. You know what, let's just dive in, we'll figure it out as we go. So here we go, say hello to Ted, who's one of the people that lives inside my brain, who unfortunately feels like someone's taken a sledgehammer to the inside of his skull, because presumably his brain is sympathetic to the giant brain he's currently living in. Okay, let's not examine the logistics of this too closely, let's just flip and go with it. So I need to get up to the control room and wake Theo up, who's the person whose brain I'm controlling. I'm not sure what went on last night, but I need to get Theo out of bed and to the office right away. I've got a bad feeling about today. Yeah, I get the feeling this is going to be something more serious than a simple headache. But first I get to pick my tyre though. Ooh, I haven't unlocked a whole bunch of tyres yet. Right, well obviously stripy pink, yes. So I've got my quarters right here and... okay. The inside of my brain is slightly on fire, and I may have been asleep for longer than I thought, yes. So, ground floor right here. Okay, is that a lift? Can I use that to get up a bit? The elevator's broken, guess I have to take the long way round. Right, the elevator in my brain's broken, which is presumably a metaphor for something being wrong in my brain, and oh no... my brain's down 2,815 somethings. That's probably bad too. In fact, yeah, those charts in general do not look good. Okay, whole bunch of rooms here that are not currently open. So, staff quarters right here. And we've also got ourselves a bar right there. Together with, yep, that's some... uh-oh. Hello, did you work in the brain? Jesus, what's going on around here? Right, one of my brain men's dead. Oh no, more than one. This is the darkest adventure of the numbskulls I've ever seen. Okay, Imaginarium appears to be slightly on fire. The room where we keep the chairs, that's not looking great either. Okay, at least we do actually have a working lift here, that's good. Okay, more dead brain people. Memory bank, that's locked up. Can't get any further in that direction though. Oh, mine, actually open room. The R&D lab, where presumably we... put together new thoughts or something, new ideas, something of that nature. Ooh, we were putting together a giant death robot. Right, that's a pretty cool thing to prototype, yes. Right, we've made it to Cortex Control where I've run into Teddy, who appears to be the punk half of my personality. So, well, look who's finally decided to turn up. What time do you call this, dickhead? There's work to do around here, you know. Look, everybody's dead. Have you noticed how everybody's dead? Things are not great around here. So it turns out that Ted, the rational side of my brain's been unconscious for 5 weeks, so the, I don't know, subconscious, emotional, impulsive side of my brain's just been running the show for that long, which, oh bloody hell, what have you done to my life? There was an accident, I'm not sure of the specifics exactly, but Theo must have hit his bonce pretty hard. You've both been unconscious for some time. It was like an earthquake or something, the lights went out, the whole place shook violently, Cortex started to literally fall apart. A light fitting fell from the ceiling and knocked you out, your head was bleeding all over the shop, it was revolting. Right, so what does that actually mean for Theo, the guy whose head we're running? Alright, let's just give the thalamus a bit of a punch and see where this goes. So there we go, rebooting brain. And there we go. What I'm seeing through my eyes, done through actual video. This is such a weird blend of styles. I've never seen anything quite like it. Aha, so the way I interact with the world is choosing what I'm going to say, which therefore triggers an appropriate video file response. So presumably, yeah, there's a bunch of video branching paths. It's like a video choose your own adventure novel. So let's call out, and presumably there's going to be a nurse that's going to hear me, give me an update as to what the hell's going on.
Theodore, can you hear me okay? Hi, I'm Dr. Peters. I'm the neurologist who's been looking after you here at St. Helens Hospice. It's good to have you back with us. I can imagine you're quite confused right now.
I am, Doctor, for all sorts of reasons, but I'm also just going to very quickly turn down the music volume because it's a little bit overpowering. There we go, that's a bit better.
You were involved in a nasty incident. We actually thought you were going to be in your coma much longer given the head injuries you sustained. A month is a small miracle in my professional opinion.
Okay, so 5 months of a coma. Let's figure out what's going on here. Yeah, there's no point just exclaiming a month because she's not going to say, oh no, sorry, my mistake, you were brought in yesterday, I was looking at the wrong clipboard. We need to know what actually flipping happened here.
I don't know the details, but it was a car accident about 5 weeks ago. Initially, you were rushed to St. Thomas Hospital, but after 3 weeks of failing to rouse you from your vegetative state, you were brought to us here.
She looks very happy about the fact I've been unconscious for 5 weeks and they had no way of bringing me out of a vegetative state. That's a little bit too happy there. I don't trust this doctor one bit. I think she was driving the other car. And this here's what the game's about. We have to try and figure out, through going through video files, what actually happened to us and thus how to fix our brain from within.
Your head took the brunt of the impact. Your frontal cortex was damaged in the incident. Scans revealed only moderate damage, but head injuries can have all manner of unpredictable side effects. You've actually come out of your vegetative state several times over the past few weeks, but consciousness hasn't always returned in these instances. We were hoping that you'd make a full recovery, but this is far sooner than anticipated.
Okay, so presumably in those moments, Teddy was in the driving seat if Ted wasn't actually awake yet.
Headaches, confusion, memory loss, these are all common with serious head trauma. With comas, though, it's often hard to tell if the person has fully left the comatose state, but you seem to be back with us properly this time. You're responding to my questions, your eyes are responsive. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're out of the woods.
So we're awake and we can now engage with the outside world, but yeah, we need to get information from the doctors about what happened to help us fix the place.
Do you remember what you were doing on December the 19th, the day of the accident?
Don't you know, but I bet if I went down to my memory banks I might find a way to figure it out. Sorry doctor, for the time being I don't know, but I suspect I'll be able to fix things up in here, so eventually I will.
Okay, don't worry. From what I can tell, there's no observable damage to the areas of your brain responsible for perception, cognition, communication. Often when people wake from comas, they suffer from severely limited facial movements or speech. Clearly there's a gap in your memory, which we'll monitor closely. But for now, just rest, take it easy, and we can chat more later.
And as I suspected, task number 1, get the memory bank back up and running, then we can start piecing together the accident. Marvellous. Small problem though, all the staff died in the accident, and we can't hire new staff because we don't have any neuros. The accident near enough wiped out our entire reserve. Right, so we need to get some, brain stuff to plug into the memory, because that's broadly how brains work, I guess. So to fix things up, we're going to be needing some neuro credits. Gotcha. Teddy, where do they come from? Right, so every day is a shift, and how we choose to spend our time affects Theo's recovery and development. We decide what he does and when he does it. You and I are the ultimate stakeholders in Theo's decisions. This screen right here shows an overview of how Cortex is performing, which I hope you've not forgotten is Theo's current mental state. So, yeah, Cortex power low, stress extremely high, staff not very many, and 0 memories whatsoever. Yeah, not good. Right, so specifically his shift is broken up into different activities. Those offer neuro credits. That's what we use to fix stuff up, unlocking more actions and video going forward. Gotcha. To earn neuros, you need to help Theo concentrate, but that can be stressful. Keep an eye on the red bar at the bottom of the screen. That does look a little bit high at the minute, yes. Reduce stress by resting. Fine, so we need to balance concentrating on things to get neuro credits with resting so he doesn't get too stressed out and exhausted. All makes sense. Okay, so at any time we want to, we can just see what's going on, and apparently that's going to be his name right there, T. Kavinsky. So okay, 4 PM on Monday, go over to that. Stress seems a bit high right now, so how about we have a good nap? So, yeah, decrease strength, double your concentration bonus for a short while when you wake up. So, let's just get him to go to sleep for a bit. That'll get rid of some lovely stress. Right there. There we go. That's nice. Though, purple's also going down. Do we know what purple is? I'm not sure what purple is. We'll figure it out soon. Right. So, he's had a nap. Now it is 5 PM. What happens when purple is empty? Ah, that's just telling you how long it takes to do a given action. So he was asleep for 2 hours. Okay, now he's woken up. Probably we can do a bit of very light reading. So, there we go. Book on the table next to Theo's bed. Give that a good read because we've just had a good nap. So, quickly read that and oh, okay, it's a little mini game. I need to press A on the brain just to help with the concentration business. So, getting a bit faster. That's, oh, he's reading Great Expectations. Good book. Excellent books. Do enjoy Great Expectations. Enjoy Dickens in general, in fact. So now we're just seeing how, oh, I missed one. Okay, so we're just building up a combo, and we're done with that. Okay, so presumably that earned us a bit of currency, right? Ah, there we go, 509 neuro credits, so that's probably good. Now, he's a bit sick right now. Do I want to try and get another bit of reading in? And then probably put him to bed. Yeah, let's read a little bit more. So, just one more bit of reading, and we'll see what we can do here. So, high score of 14. Let's see if we can beat the high score. Yes, new high score! 16! Sweet! So, it's 11 PM, meaning now it's time for him to go to sleep for the day. So he just automatically goes to sleep at like 10 or 11 PM or something about there. So, that's the end of the shift. Need to head over to HR before clocking off. Need to hire Cortex some new staff. Right, let's go check out the staff situation. Okay, got to find human resources, who, honestly, I feel like you should have actually cleaned up the corpses right now. Like, logically, that would fall within human resources remit, right? Like, not most of the time, but in the case where there are humans littering the corridors, then it would logically fall to them to figure out what to do with them. And speaking of which, we've got a not dead person. Marvellous. Hello, Thea. Okay, priority number 1. Drop some neuro credits on beginning the restoration of the memory bank. But it still needs to be repaired by someone who's, like, you know, doing the work. But this is still probably a good thing. Yes, there we go. With this back up and running, you'll have access to Theo's memory files. 100% let's get that sorted. Now I just need a Cortex worker to do the flipping work. So some people are absolutely terrible, but they're very cheap to hire. Meanwhile, some people are a little bit better. Hang on, skip through to the end here. Right, the most expensive person is Charlie, but they contribute 0.5 to Cortex core power, and also have 18 to fixing stuff up. I tell you what, I'll go for the second best option, Dennis. 12 to fixing up, 0.5 to core Cortex, only costs 250. So you seem pretty damn good. Also, I can buy alarm clocks, comics, and robot vacuum cleaners if that's what I want. But to be honest, yeah, we should probably work on, like, putting out the fires inside the brain first. So, back in the control room. Number 1, let's just quickly wake up Theo.
Theo, are you actually awake this time? I mean, you've opened your eyes once before, but you weren't awake. Not really. The lights were on, but nobody was home. You there this time, dude? Hey. Theo.
I should probably say, like, you know, hello or yes or something. Actually, you know what, maybe I'll just leave him there, stroking the side of my head indefinitely. That's fine too. And yeah, the problem is I don't actually know who this guy is right now, so I'm just gonna say, yeah, I'm awake, and hopefully he can give me a few more details.
Thank God. I didn't think we'd ever get the chance to talk again. It's been so long, you scared me, Theo.
He feels familiar, but I can't place him. Yes, indeed. Memory bank. We really need some flippin' memories.
I've been here every other day, you know, to visit. Sat right here. I've been reading to you. All your favorites. Sandman, Preacher, Watchmen. Even some of the new bits from Super Average Joe I've been working on.
Super Average Joe, that's...
I reckon that's what kept you going, thinking about it. Kept your brain active while you slept. They said you could hear me. Could you? Do you remember hearing my voice?
Not only do I not remember, I don't actually know who you are. Sorry, so if we could just, get to the point where you explain who you are and what Super Average Joe is and why apparently that rings a bell to my brain, but not quite, that'd be great.
That must have been some bump to the head. It's Jack, you have quite literally known me your entire life. Everybody always thought we were brothers, we were that inseparable. Anyway, it is good to have you back in the land of the living.
Okay, so his best friend, but of course, we can't be sure he's actually telling the truth. It would certainly be a bit of a difficult con to get away with, and we'll be able to verify at the moment I have access to any memories whatsoever, but don't necessarily assume everybody's telling the truth at face value.
Okay, this is gonna be weird. I've known you, forever. I mean, I grew up in the same village as you. I still live there. London isn't for me. I went to the same school as you. I like pretty much all the same things as you do. Comics, films, games, except I'm not as worried about hiding it as you are. You're always so concerned about whatever people think of you. Sorry, that's you, not me. I draw, I write. My favorite color is purple. Look, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. It feels like we're on a date or something.
Okay, now this here sounds like an excellent opportunity to do some internal remodeling, because apparently I'm a closet nerd. So, no. Let's just redo this a bit. Out and proud nerd from now on, thank you. Okay, let's start off with, piecing together some actual information. So, was I okay or know anything about the crash? Yeah, how was I before the accident? Anything I might be able to make use of there?
I've not seen you for a little while, actually, but from what I've heard, you've been doing okay. I mean, you were drinking a lot the last time I saw you, partying pretty hard. You seem distant, but I put that down to the stresses of your job, man. You need to get out of that place.
Okay, so a bad job, potentially drinking too much. I really hope I wasn't drunk when I had the car accident. Right, move on to the crash here. Do you know anything about that, Jack?
I don't know much about it, man. Wasn't pretty, I'm told. You're lucky to be alive by the sounds of things. You've really got no memory of that day at all, huh?
Well, we've already established I've got no memory of you, Jack, and you've been around a lot longer than the car crash, so no, I can't remember the last 5 weeks either. Still, let's see if we can get at least a little bit more information out of him yet.
I'm sure it'll all be fine. Your memories will return, I'm sure. Anyway, look, I need to head off, but I'll be back in a couple of days. Rest up, man. It's good to have you back.
Rushed off pretty sharpish there, didn't he? Almost like he avoided the question. Yeah. Bit weird, something's not quite clicking properly there. That's not unfair. He was acting a bit odd at the end there. Though Teddy is doing a good job calling me out here, why would some random dude show up to the hospital room of another random dude if they weren't friends? Not quite share any concern here. Yeah, if he is trying to con me, it's not going to stand up to the slightest bit of examination from anyone else I know, so he's probably at least mostly on the level. Okay, so we got ourselves a new tab over here in the Cortex. So, staff, Dennis is available. So, summon him to the brain, or this bit of the brain. So, what can you do to help? First, let's have a nice chat, just see if we can, boost your morale or whatever. Anything I can help you with today? There almost certainly is, but hang on 2 secs, I want to know a little bit more about you, Dennis. Yeah, that's right, let's fake showing an interest in this random metaphor for a neuron. Hopefully he might work a bit harder. So he says he's interested in research and development, so potentially, if we were to put him in that department, he might well work more effectively as time goes on. Gotcha. So, send him off to repair the memory bank, job flippin' done. But he might actually finish up the job before the day's done, so we might need to be reassigned, we might need more teams, fine. So balancing what your staff are doing could potentially be a pretty challenging thing as the game goes on. So is this guy repairing the bank in real time? No, I think time's paused until I've given some orders. So we've also got ourselves a finance tab here. So I can spend neuro credits on, okay, increasing concentration or potentially getting myself more neuro credits per hour. So an average day seems to be I assume 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So, yeah, 50 per hour per day. That's actually, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. You know what? We're going to take some of that right now. And if I were to keep investing, I could earn more per hour. So now I'm just going to be getting in some neuro credits by default, no matter what I do, even if I'm resting. Probably not a bad idea. And yeah, we just kind of chill out in our bed right there. Marvellous. Apparently we're just staring at a wall. Could someone put the TV on, please? I'm probably very bored right now. Okay, what do we need to do? Because right now we've only got 3 basic activities. We can't do anything else. So, right now, how are we doing on stress? Stress seems to be middling but not terrible. How about we have a nice nap just to take us up to lunch, just to give us a bonus for some reading in the afternoon. So, purple bar goes down, presumably indicating, yeah, how long it's going to take. And, yeah, there's my 50 that I get by default. I'm going to wake up when the purple bar empties, which should be at noon, and stress is going down nicely. There we flippin' go. So check in with what's going on with my friend over in the repairs. Okay, that's going to take a little bit of time to do that. Might take the entire day, in fact, to see. And also, just occasionally, you know, check in with what's going on. Got myself a lovely card here. So, a whole 2 get well soon cards. Okay, but one of them has a load of signatures in it, so it's not that bad. And yes, actually, now I think about it, with those neuro credits I got while I was sleeping, I can actually now invest in a bit more concentration. Love it. Okay, so we're concentrating. We've just had a nap. We should be wide awake right now. So how about we get on with some hardcore flipping reading? Oh yeah, we're making 32 for every single time we actually get this. That's a big old pile of neuro credits. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Love it. Right, so 2 p.m. now. Anything you're doing? Nope, just reminding yourself of your name right there and checking that you've still got tubes stuck in your arm. Marvellous. So I could now, yeah, just keep investing. Reduce stress a bit. Yeah, you know what? Let's get stress down a little bit and start earning more per hour and also get even more concentration going on, though. Hang on. I'm about to do something that needs concentration. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Let's actually get that set up. In fact, you know what? Double it. Boom. We've now got all of the concentration going on, and we're probably still perfectly fit to do a bit more in the way of reading. Oh, now we're making 54 as long as I keep this combo going. That's big stuff. That's big stuff. Hang on a minute. Is this sort of accidentally like a narrative cookie clicker? Because this feels vaguely cookie clickery to me. And that gets me straight up to 1,000, okay? Keep on investing internally, except hang on, were you about to do something? Oh, hello!
I managed to sneak you in some food. Don't tell anybody, though.
Shouldn't I be getting food? Doesn't that normally happen in hospitals? Like, I feel like this shouldn't be a surprise that needed to be done without telling anybody. Have you guys been starving me? Okay, this feels weird. I'm not sure I'm actually in a hospital. I think I've been kidnapped. Right, continue investing in myself. More free neuro credits and more bonus concentration, please. In fact, yeah, just keep investing over there. Oh, love it. Flippin' love it. Now, let's do some more reading here, Theo. I mean, honestly, my stress doesn't feel that high right now. It doesn't feel that high at all. And, oh yeah, plus 99. Oh, we are swimming in neuro credits now. Okay, that gets me up to 2,000. I think I just heard something about renovations. Oh, hello. Who are you?
I managed to sneak you in some food. Don't tell anybody, though.
Oh god, I'm suffering from deja vu. Okay, so Dennis, we're done with that. What else can you do? Ah, yes, the elevator just outside my room. Could you get on with that, please? I need to visit other bits of the brain. Okay, probably at this point, best to just use those neuro credits over in HR to unlock some more stuff, hire some more staff. So, maybe, yeah, just one more boost to how many neuro credits we're getting. Together with a small reduction in stress there. Lovely. So, you know, we're making some good progress there. We're getting some flipping stress down. Was that you eating the food? I suspect. No. Hello, we've got... No, it's her. She's bringing me food again. I'm terrified of the woman in the purple dress and her insistent attempts to feed me. You know what? I'm stressed enough for the time being. Let's just have a nap and then just end the day on that. Let's just get the stress right down, ready for tomorrow. I mean, I'm now getting 200 neuro credits every hour regardless of anything, so this feels like a good starting point right here. Oh, there we go. The memory bank opens up. Also, can somebody please clean up the corpses? It's really bad for morale to have the corpses still floating around. Okay, let's drop some neuro credits on getting the dream theatre sorted out, so Theo can actually, you know, have dreams. That seems like a good sort of a thing. Except hang on, that's apparently good for our staff out of hours, so it's not just good for Theo, it's good for the people working for me too. So okay, if that's not actually necessarily just good for Theo, how about we have a little look-see at... Yeah, just a basic staff room, that's nice and cheap. So, staff room, more staff. Gotcha. And now we've got the money for it. Yeah, hire the good quality people. Good old Charlie that we saw on the first day. Let's get her on board. And Rosie too. Yep, get them in. Lovely. Don't bother with... Don't bother with Frank, but screw it, we'll bring in Roger. Okay, so the memory bank's now complete. What can I do in here? Okay, so all of my memories have gone missing. That doesn't mean they're gone, it just means they're sort of floating around inside the memory banks rather than being indexed sensibly. In order to re-trigger them and thus recall them, we need a similar memory trigger, so ask the right questions, trigger new memories to reappear back in the memory bank. I think. Okay, let's see what we got here. So, memory number 1, is this triggered by anything we've already come across in the world, like say Jack for example? Okay, verification, Jack Clay is definitely a real person I've had a relationship with. Can't guarantee for absolute certain the person who was in the room with me was the grown-up Jack Clay, but I did know someone called Jack Clay. Meanwhile, back at school as part of a project at some point, they drew a comic book together. So Theo was good at drawing things, Jack was good at the words and the script and whatnot. So, yeah, between the two of them, they created the Ninja King comic, and I'm guessing Super Average Joe was a comic book they were just drawing together for fun more recently or something, or maybe it was something they did when they were kids, but yeah, Jack chose to read it out to me because there were fond memories attached to it. That'll be what Super Average Joe was. And now potentially what we heard from Jack and the mentions of my work life is starting to make a bit of sense. So I was chasing a promotion. I'd played hardball the moment I started the job, not only working 80-hour weeks, but shaking the right hands and saying the right things to the right people. I presented a version of myself to colleagues and clients that far outplayed my 4 years in the finance industry. I'd sacrificed a lot to get this far, my spare time, my social life, my sanity, and David knew that. Come round here, Theo, take a seat. Get used to the view, my friend. This is how you're going to see the world very soon, provided you're able to hit your target for the quarter. Right, so I was very close to a VP of Finance job, but, yeah, I'm guessing the target was aggressive, and I got so stressed I ended up, yeah, becoming a functional alcoholic. Right, not good. So, that restores a bit of actual brain power, marvellous. Right, with that, I guess we better head back to bed, have a good night's rest, and yeah, now we know what we're doing in terms of reconstructing memories, start trying to ask the right questions to the right guests, all of that good stuff. And I think I'm starting to understand the dynamic with Ted and Teddy here. So Ted's a bit of a workaholic. Now he's actually figured out the business with the promotion, he wants to start working on that as soon as possible. Teddy, however... Yeah, there we go. Nearly dying should be a wake-up call. Now's the perfect chance to get out of that hellhole office. Okay, there is a happy middle ground between working and drinking myself to death with an 80-hour week and abandoning my career entirely. There is a happy middle ground. Can we bring in, like, you know, a third variant of Ted to, like, propose a nice happy medium? Right, let's wake him up.
Morning, Theo. Hope you're readjusting to waking life again, okay? You've probably noticed by now that your legs aren't much use to you. This is called muscle atrophy. Because you haven't used your legs or arms in over a month, your muscles have begun to waste away. Now, I mostly deal with brains, but because of a lack of staff, today we're going to start some exercises to help build those limbs back up. Okay? You ready?
I'm deeply concerned by my incredibly casually dressed brain doctor who just occasionally branches into other areas of medicine because there's no staff available. I am absolutely convinced what's happening here is I have been kidnapped, right? This is not a hospital. I've been kidnapped and I'm being held here against my will. Okay, let's see what's going on in the world here. Who else has been visiting me?
Your dad was here that first week, but he had to get back to Warsaw. He's the one who brought you that book. He's not well himself, he was telling me, otherwise he would have stayed. But hopefully he'll be back soon now that you're awake. Other than that, though, it's been quiet.
And Teddy's got a bit of a point here. 5 weeks in a coma and only 2 visitors. And Jack did say he hadn't actually seen me recently before the accident, and my dad's naffed off to Warsaw. So anyway, that explains my name a bit. Apparently I'm of Polish origin. Meanwhile, the workaholic Ted is sure that Luke and Gary and the others from the office will pop in. Yeah, I'm not convinced they're gonna do that, Ted. I think you might be barking up the wrong tree there. So, let's see what else we got here, because any of these might actually trigger new memories of some description. In particular, yeah, if I say it's boring, any chance you'll bring me some form of new entertainment?
Only boring people get bored, my gran used to say. Although that does seem unfair in your particular case. Hang on a minute.
Aha, I think that is going to get me something new to interact with.
Here, take this. You'll be taking my lunchtime entertainment, but I reckon you could do with it more than me. It'll help with your recovery.
Okay, puzzles, very good indeed. Now, let's move on to the medical side of things. Yeah, long-term brain damage, anything you could do to help with that?
The fact that you can even ask the question proves that your higher cognitive functioning and reasoning is still intact. Clearly there's an issue with your memory, but the brain is remarkably plastic and recovery can be pretty amazing. You just got to give it time is all.
Aha, but I don't actually recognise my friend right now. Yeah, anything you can do to help with the whole reconstruction of memories?
You had a visitor? Well, memory and recognition are closely linked. That's because the hippocampus is the area of the brain first affected by lack of oxygen or blood flow. The hippocampus is the area that turns facts and events into long-term memories. With time, though, your memories should surface, and with it, recognition.
Okay, why didn't she know I'd had a visitor? Surely she ought to know that. Something just doesn't feel quite right here.
Well, that's it for today, Theo. We'll do this again soon. You're not ready to put weight back on your legs just yet. You'll still need to build that strength back up. It's not just your legs, though. Here, take these. Simple bicep curls will help build the strength back up in your arms.
Alright, I'm guessing that's a new activity as well. Marvellous. And hey, where did the crossword book go? The crossword book was totally in there. It's gone missing. Doctor, I'm having a bit of an odd moment.
Before I leave, I should tell you that you'd probably be getting a visitor in the next week or so. I was told to alert the police who are handling your case after the accident, and a D.I. Mansfield says he'll be over to talk to you in the next week or so. Anyway, I need to get to my next patient, so rest up and I'll catch you later.
Okay, so the police want to talk to him about the accident, and I suspect I may have been drunk during it, yes. And in fact, that could be a bit of a ticking clock right there. We need information available before the police show up, so... okay, we need to start working on this, and right now... stress is extremely low for the time being, so as a result of that, yeah, we can actually get ourselves a good amount of neuro credits for doing stuff.
I managed to sneak you in some food. Don't tell anybody, though.
Oh god, it's happening again! Okay, first, summon up all the new hires, let's get them doing something. I may have slightly overhired staff, because staff can't actually double up on tasks, so... until I actually unlock a new room with a big pile of neuro credits, yeah, Rosie and Roger aren't actually doing anything, unfortunately. Right, time to earn ourselves some neuro credits, and I'm guessing... yeah, this'll actually do some good stuff right here. Crosswords, that's gotta be good for the old brain, right? So, we've got oh! I'm literally having to solve crosswords. Okay, so bashful and fluid. Yep, that's all absolutely fine. That's going to be squares and bread, and then arousal and bash, and then kudos and cocaine, and then admit. Yep, that's absolutely fine. Admit and ringing, and elbow right over there. Okay, so I made about 1,000 there. I feel like I could actually make more money out of the book, but it is kind of nice that, you know, doing a crossword does require some form of crossword-related ability. That's kind of fun. Now, 1 p.m. Any chance we've got any visitors? Nope, 1 p.m. is apparently a very boring time. Well, my concentration's still very high for the minute, so for the time being, let's try reading a book again. Oh yeah, it feels like books are actually worth a lot more neurocredits than crosswords are, because I'm making 165 a go right now, so that's most definitely a better, faster way of getting a good amount of neurocredits in. Oh yeah, I'm up to flipping 4,000 from that. Crosswords are garbage. Oh, 3 p.m. We've got a... No, put away the terrifying purple feeder dress. Leave me alone. Right, let's take a brief pause for the time being. I think time's frozen if I just kind of go for a walk around. I've got a giant pile of neurocredits right now. Let's get some rooms open and people working on them. Okay, let's go for R&D. Some nice original thoughts. Lovely. And then... probably not the bar, actually. I feel like, yeah, alcohol might have got us into this problem. Dream Theatre, that seems nice. Lovely. Also, I think she wanted me to hire 5 people, so we'll hire the useless idiot as there's literally no one else to hire. Right, back to the control room. Let's get some useless staff in play here. Congratulations, I've got stuff for you to build now. Right, that's everything being worked on simultaneously, but we've still got some staff that aren't doing anything. Right, let's just check in whether anything's going on right now. Is it going to be a woman in a terrifying purple dress delivering me food? No, for once I've been spared the horror. Right, one more set of book reading, because that just seems like a genuinely amazing source of neurocredits. Okay, the book didn't load in on this occasion. I don't have a book. Now it's 6 p.m. Okay, the book is... Right, I think I forgot how to read there for a second. Oh god, not again! Okay, let's just get this stress down a bit here, alright? Chill myself out, together with more of this. Yep, there we go. Plenty more. No, never mind, no more stress. That's fine. That's a good starting point right there. Stress is coming down. Neurocredits coming in, Owlie's going up. Everything's under control. You know what? Let's try doing the lifting. I feel like that's probably a good idea. And, oh, I've got to hammer buttons to do that, which sort of makes sense, so that's okay. So we've just got to get this done. Oh, it's getting progressively harder to represent you getting more tired. That's certainly reasonable. Right there. And then, aha, you've just got to do as many as you can in the same area. What's this actually generating for me, by the way? Am I actually earning neurocredits here? Yes, I am earning neurocredits, but they're quite tiring to earn. And oh, no, it's getting progressively harder to do. Still, at least I've got something. Okay, well, I got some good exercise in there at the bare minimum. But yeah, it definitely feels like I just want to do nothing but read Great Expectations. Like, over and over again. Forever. Oh, but I have earned the greatest reward of all. A new tie. It's kind of green and spotty, but then... Stress -1's probably a good thing. It's kind of hideous, but it does have a benefit attached to it, so I guess we'll give it a go. Okay, Thursday. Now, Jack did say he was going to revisit us in a couple of days' time, so I feel like, you know, probably he ought to be visiting me today. Also, the elevator's now fixed. Marvellous. And the R&D lab, bit of a work in progress, I see. Though, hang on, what there... I swear there were windows that let me see into the R&D lab a minute ago, but apparently we've just sort of got rid of those. And, ooh, we've got restrooms too. Right, this place is suddenly coming back online. Love it. Ah, slight problem with the bathrooms, though. So, apparently, occasionally people drew pictures of me with a giant penis coming out of my head and stink lines. So, okay, possibly I was not that popular with the whole 8-hour work weeks, hard drinking, all of the rest of it. Yeah, okay, fine. Possibly I wasn't popular with the old staff before they all died. Okay, 8 a.m, eyes open. Anything for me at the beginning of the day, or... Nope, I think we're just chilling out in our bed. Marvellous. We'll have the staff room up probably before the end of today, no problem there, so... Okay, let's invest in some concentration right now, because that is... yeah, that's cheap, so let's get concentration way, way, way up as far as we can. Love it. And we know what it's time for now. It's time for reading Great Expectations, which was apparently left here by my dad, so that's nice. Oh yeah, 232 per button push. Now that'll do the flipping job. Also new flipping high score there, 18, marvellous. Wow, 5,000 in one go. I flipping love Great Expectations. Right, let's get a bit of stress down here. Let's get a bit more per hour. Let's get my concentration through the flipping roof. Oh yeah, is that actually... Ooh, are we almost capped at 100 concentration? Is that as high as it goes? Okay, now my concentration is sorted. Now we're gonna really read a damn book. Oh yeah, 300. 300 a flipping go. Now we're neural pathwaying. Oh no, concentration goes over 100. Fair enough, we're not done yet. Still, I can start getting my stress down a bit and get some more coming in per hour. Lovely. Oh my goodness, the robot hoover is called Spruce Spring Clean. I love him. And also he makes repair 25% faster, which seems like a very good investment indeed. Okay, new department. We've got ourselves R&D projects here. Question is, what does that actually mean? So, 2000 NC for some form of new project. Meditation. Sure, we're gonna learn how to flippin' meditate. Why not? Oh, Friday. We've got ourselves... Hey, Jack!
How goes it, Sleeping Beauty?
Ah, was he in the car with me by any chance when there was an accident? Because it feels like, yeah, the game was just drawing attention to the fact he's got, like, potentially a scar on his hand he covered up right there. Okay, yeah, I feel pretty good. Let's not be rude or anything.
Good to hear.
Okay, let's figure out what was going on with Jack anyway.
As in, before the accident? I mean, I haven't seen you in a little while, maybe 3 or 4 months, maybe. We had a creative difference on the direction we should take the comic, but that's all water under the bridge now, man. Don't worry about that.
Okay, let's start off with the hand situation here. By any chance, were you in the car, but for some reason you don't want to tell me?
Yeah, it's fine. I cut it on the damn scalpel when I was cutting some comic panels out. It's better than it looks.
Okay, does seem like a fairly small thing for the sort of car accident that would put me in a coma, so maybe it's unrelated. And yeah, the accident. Last time you gave me the brush off, so what's he gonna do this time?
Not really. Sorry. Maybe one of your London friends knows more. They've probably seen more of you recently.
Oh, okay, that was a bit snarky. Yeah, you're not wrong, Ted. And yes, indeed, am I by any chance making Theo's personality different by virtue of how I'm fixing up the brain?
It's nothing I can put my finger on, but you do seem different, like more thoughtful maybe, like wiser or something. But then again, maybe it's just that bandage, which is a great look, by the way. I've been working on this new character for some time now, and now you're back in the land of the living. I want your input.
Okay, so he wants to talk straight about, yeah, the comic book that apparently we were working on together. It wasn't something that, you know, we did as kids, we just had fond memories of. This is something that, yeah, still active for him.
So, it's for a totally new character. The protagonist for a new series set in the Super Average Joe universe. A brand new hero for a brand new comic. You've got some time on your hands now. Maybe you could start some designs?
Okay, so, yeah, Super Average Joe. I've heard that name a lot, not only from Jack, but around Cortex 2. Okay, possibly it was written on the walls or something. What else am I forgetting here? And Super Average Joe. Oh, you actually know about Super Average Joe. Well, you could have flippin' told me, Teddy. Or possibly he's just pretending to because he's a bit embarrassed. Right, let's just go back to the beginning here. What's going on?
Ah, shit, yeah, your brain thingy. Don't worry, I'll bring you up to speed. Super Average Joe was our comic book idea, like a decade or so in the making. We came up with this idea when we were like 12 or something. So it's this world, right, where everybody is a superhero, everybody. Powers are just something you're born with. But Joe, right, he doesn't have them. He's like totally average, but that's not a bad thing, see, because there's always a catch, a downside. All powers come with a heavy price tag, but Joe is free of this burden. He might be average, but he is the true hero in this world.
You know, I actually quite like the idea of a superhero film where everyone's got powers aside from one person. That actually sounds kind of cool.
I'm glad you like it. It was your idea, dude.
Okay, so just tell me a bit more about this new character for the AJCU.
Anyway, This new character, right? He's called Stargaze. And he has the power to turn people's own thoughts and desires into tangible forms, which he then has complete control over, like this mask-wearing, dream-weaving puppet master.
Well, I'm glad Teddy's nice and excited by this, so I guess I may as well do the design work. It might be something fun to do while I'm stuck in bed, so go on then. I won't be snarky about it. I'll just say I'm happy to help out.
Well, yeah, well, that's what you do. Just like you did with Joe, you were born for character design, dude.
Okay, so I'm guessing ultimately Ted wants me to get back to the whole finance VP thing. Teddy wants me to embrace drawing characters.
Look, let the ideas sit with you. I reckon Stargaze could be big, just like Super Average Joe. And we need to start fleshing out our extended universe. It's going to take a few characters to really kick things off.
Okay, when you say Super Average Joe is big, yeah, how big are we talking here?
Well, I mean, big like Super Average Joe will be, once we get it to a publisher or whatever.
Ah, so right now it is just a hobby, it's never actually gone anywhere, we don't even know whether we've shared it with anyone else or how far along it is. Okay, once again, I'd like to bring in a third middle ground, Ted, someone who is neither wanting to dedicate our life to becoming VP of Finance, or dedicate our life to drawing comic books that we don't know are going to go anywhere. Like, there is definitely a healthy middle ground between these positions.
So, have a think about the Stargaze thing. I reckon it'd be good to get you drawing again, and it can only help with your recovery, I'd imagine. And then maybe you could leave that boring job of yours, and we can get Kavinsky and Clay Comics off the ground properly. Look, I need to dash, but I'll catch you next time. And also, I'll do some more digging into the day of the accident, see what I can find out. Take it easy.
There's something not quite right here. I actually agree with Ted. Something ain't quite right. He's only visited us twice, very briefly. He's made his excuses and left very quickly after he visits. Yeah, something's not quite right here. Nothing wrong with doing a bit of drawing, you know, as a bit of a hobby, and nothing wrong with cutting down our hours a bit, maybe not chasing VP roles after just 4 years in the industry. But yeah, maybe not one or the other, maybe both extremes bad. Okay, before we kick off the day here, let's just quickly nip over to, the memory bank. I think that conversation kicked off a new memory. So just fast travel over to there. Here we go, a whole bunch of memories in fact, I'm guessing related to Super Average Joe. Aha, and Super Average Joe certainly has a bit of a resemblance to all the characters in my head who I'm assuming have a resemblance to me. So Super Average Joe was based on Theo himself. And in terms of the comic book company that Jack mentioned, yeah, it's not actually a company, it's a logo they created, but it was more of an idea than anything else. So, yeah, it really feels like they haven't done much of the groundwork to making this happen. It's still very much just a pipe dream. For the time being, though, I can't do any drawing. I've still not unlocked any of that business, so guess what we're doing? That's right, it's Great Expectations! Actually, I'm a bit tired already. I should probably have a quick nap before we do anything else today, because yeah, 236 is pretty bloody small. I've just realised there are corpses lying everywhere, because I never told anyone to go and clear up the corpses, so if you wouldn't mind just getting on with that, that would be brilliant. Alright, Saturday, 10 AM, fresh as a daisy, began the day with a nap here. This is gonna be one hell of a reading of Great Expectations. Oh, 700. 700 to go. Yes, actually, I think this is going to be the best reading of Great Expectations ever. I think the maximum high score I've already hit, by the way, it was 23, which I got, which was pretty perfect, but it gets pretty fast, actually, so yeah, it could be quite tricky to nail it on occasion. Bloody hell, right. Okay, that was still pretty good. That was straight up from nothing to 15,000 in a single chapter.
Morning, Theo. How you doing? I know you've been bored, so I brought you a present.
Ooh, I've got myself a new thing to add to Mysterious Drawers. Oh, no, hang on. My drawer does have my weights, but it doesn't have my crossword book. Where am I keeping my crossword book? Okay, 2 new things here. I can now start meditating, which is mental stimulation and stress reduction, so just 1 hour as well. So yeah, okay, that seems like a pretty positive thing to do. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that was what I got the guys in R&D doing, so that's a positive thing, but I've only got it because I purchased staff and actually got them working on it, so that's why that one's pretty good. Alternatively, Sudoku. Brush up on a bit of arithmetic. Oh, blimey, is this actually going to be... Okay, we're actually doing actual things. So that's 36. That's going to be... Oh, it's not even in the right order. That's 24. That's 33. That's 7. That's 10. That's... Oh, blimey. You don't have long for that, and it does not reward you with many points. Right, well, back to Great Expectations we go, I suppose. Yeah, you see, if you just read the book pretty well, that's about 20,000 versus 5,000, so I'm not sure why you'd ever do anything other than read the book. Okay, my stress has gone up a little bit as a result of the Great Expectations. It is a stressful book to read, clearly. Let's try and do a bit of meditation to see what that's like. So, I need to banish thoughts by pressing buttons. I do like how everything's got its own mini-game. That's nice, and also the buttons aren't in the place you normally expect. They're not orientated the same as on the control pad. So that's nice. Also, I'll give you, that really gets a lot of stress out of the way in very little time. Oh, blimey, heck. Okay, B. Yeah, that gets rid of stress fast. Aha! I see what we're doing here. Dig into the R&D project. Super Average Joe R&D product. Yes! So now I've actually gone and found that, I can get my staff working on Super Average Joe, which should hopefully cheer up Teddy a bit. Okay, plan. I want literally everyone who's currently available working on the Super Average Joe thing, alright? Poor old Teddy has been bored for a long time. We're going to sort this out for him. Okay, I've dedicated pretty much my entire brain to handling, new comic book research. Oh, not Rosie though. Rosie, get on it. And while we're doing that, I'm going to dedicate absolutely all of my neuro points into getting stress down. And, oh, blimey, that was fast. Okay, we've got new comics that can be purchased from the store. Is that what we're doing? I thought we were, like, coming up with a new comic for, like, an idea to pass on to Jack. Maybe we were just adding new comics to the store, I'm not sure. Right, okay, so you just did that in a matter of seconds. Got it. Right, we'll just get the stress down a bit. Let's get the stress moving downwards. Pretty sure the store is, that's in Human Resources, where I bought the Hoover. So if I buy more and more comics from Human Resources, presumably that's good for my, like, creativity, right? Aha! A brand new comic, but I can't quite afford it. Okay, give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. I mean, the nice thing is I've invested so much in stress, it just seems to be, incredibly easy to keep my stress down. There we go. Got myself comic number 2. And I'm hoping that's going to really cheer up Teddy, because he wanted me to do more work on the comic and whatnot, and that's precisely what I've done. Unfortunately, I think I may have got to this faster than the game was expecting, because Teddy's still having a go at me, like I haven't actually just, dedicated the vast majority of the Cortex resources to creating a comic, which I have done, but he's still nagging me to actually do it, and Ted's acting like that's a ridiculous idea he'd never actually do, despite the fact well, that's a bit on the odd side.
Hi, Theo. I've got some stuff for you to look at today. Some of your belongings were retrieved from the car after the accident, and they've just been sent over from St. Thomas Hospital. What would you like to look at first? We have a book, a t-shirt, a bottle of rum, and a mobile phone.
Oh, now we're getting into it. Right, the rum bottle. I'm guessing I was very drunk and the accident's very much my fault.
There are a lot of empty bottles like this, apparently. There was no alcohol in your blood on the night of the accident, according to the report, but it's clearly like a drink. I'll just leave this in here.
Okay, so at least I know I wasn't drunk when I potentially, killed someone else or something. That's good. Okay, mobile phone's probably a good step too.
Yeesh. Doesn't look like it's fared too well from the accident either. We can look at getting you a new one. It might help alleviate the boredom. I'll look into that for you.
Alright, so nothing helpful there.
This t-shirt's seen better days. Why would the police give you this back?
Right, is that covered in blood, buddy chads? Because blimey heck, okay. Except apparently it's also ripped up, not just blood smeared. So, also she looks weirdly happy about the ripped up bloody t-shirt. I'm getting some seriously messed up vibes from her. I do not trust her one bit.
Oh my gosh, it's a sketchbook. Did you do these? They're really good. You better look after that. Oh, and there's some pencils in here. Take them too.
Aha! I could presumably finally do my flippy drug. No, where's everything gone? All my possessions have disappeared and get into the terrifying magic drawer.
We also found this inhaler in the front. We had to check it was Ventolin first before giving it back to you. We're real sticklers for procedure like that here. Anyway, I've got to go and see another patient, but I'll catch you later.
That's not mine. That's Jack's. We've seen him with an asthma inhaler on a couple of occasions. Yeah, he was totally in the car. Oh, yeah, there was an altercation, and it was actually with Jack himself. I actually punched Jack in the cheek just under his left eye. He staggered backwards, clutching the side of his face. Once he'd regained his composure and registered what had happened, we just stood there staring at each other for a time, studying each other. I was still furious, and through that anger, remember thinking that I had no idea who this guy was anymore. Two best friends who realised they didn't really know the other all that well. Two strangers. We might have known each other for over 2 decades, but I remember thinking to myself I'd never forgive him. But we don't know why. So it turns out this isn't actually a thing that I need to do, not like, you know, a new thing I can choose to do as an activity, but instead, on occasion, oh, she's put on the purple dress. Yeah, she's put on the feeding me purple dress and I don't like it. But yeah, on occasion, I just decide to do a bit of sketching. That's nice. So yeah, I can see how all this fits together at this point. We can do activities that are a bit on the stressful side to earn neuro points I can use to get more concentration, get my stress down, which I have been focusing on. That does strike me as a very good idea indeed. In fact, you know what? Screw it, let's finish that off. Oh, there we go, stress-free. You can't complain about that, Teddy. I have prioritised getting stress down way ahead of getting concentration up. So I'm meeting you halfway here. I'm meeting you half-flipping way. But yeah, I see how this all fits together. So you've got activities, you've got to choose where to invest your points, whether it's in more points, concentration, stress. You've got your staff, where do you want them to go? Focus on creative stuff or focus on getting your career back on track. And I'm guessing when time runs out, you don't have a way to kind of do everything. You've got to choose what you invested and that affects the ending you've got. Though that's just pure speculation. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Given the sort of game this is, where it's a bit on the linear side and it's puzzling, it's narrative-y, I think I'm going to leave things off there. So, if you decide this is of interest to you, there's plenty for you to check out yourself. A game like this, I feel like it wouldn't be fair to just kind of keep pushing through it and show more and more of the mystery, more and more of the plot off. It's nice to leave something for you guys to find yourself. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It's like, yeah, an old 80s FMV cookie clicker narrative sort of a thing. There's all sorts of weird genres blended together here. I don't even know how to evaluate it because I don't know by what standards I should hold it or what to compare it to. So, I've no bloody clue, ladies and gentlemen. In conclusion, it's an odd one. It's an odd one and it's a distinct one, and I'll certainly remember it exists for a long, long time. So, I guess I mean that as a compliment. Take it as such if you think it sounds like one. This might well be the right thing for the right person. Not going to be for everyone, not by a long shot, but for the right person in the right mood, might well be worth a look-see. It's a low-intensity, pretty chill game, all things considered. There's just, you know, bit of a mystery, couple of bits and pieces to put together. Nothing too taxing or challenging here, though I do appreciate that, yeah, when you're doing, like, you know, Sudokus and crosswords, you actually have to do, like, you know, maths and putting words together. It's kind of nice that the sub-games are actually vaguely appropriate to the activity. That's good, at least. I do appreciate that. So, some nice touches here. Might well be worth a look-see. Link in the description below in case you're interested. It is always nice to play something a little bit different. Long may it continue. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been Headspun. Thank you very much, and goodbye. I can also just take this person and make them female. Can I just... Perfect! I'm delighted we share the same level of ambition. Complete mediocrity all of the way. And then, oh, the people at the back just kind of popped into existence there for a second. Okay, let's try this again with something else. I'm going to see if we can get Mr. Potato Head into this game.